In this video, we're going to be looking at the front and side gardens like we do the first Saturday of every month for August of 2024. I can't even believe it's August. Where did the summer go? We're going to start heading to, okay, we'll get there. Anyway, we do this every month. These are incremental garden tours, so you can see small changes and everything in the description below. Everything is labeled out with indexes so you can go specifically to the item you want to see. So here we go. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. So welcome to August 2024 and starting the second half of summer. Well, hopefully we'll start cooling off here within a week or two. It's been pretty warm here in Destin, Florida, and trying to think. I've actually been doing some work out here. Before we go any further, do you see anything new? If you see it, if you think of it before we get back to this point in the garden tour, just put it in the description or in the comments below what you see that I've been doing for the past hour or two. But be sure to subscribe, because we do a lot of continuous projects and results and things that happen, and failures and goods and bads and everything. I say failures, I just get that word out of my vocabulary and start replacing it with learning opportunities, because that's really what they are. There are no failures in gardening. It's one of my favorite things about this. Something dies, you know what? Plant another one. There's no failure. It's just learn from your mistakes, try to figure it out, and try it again. But also, if you have questions and comments, your experiences, tell us what your experiences are if you have done some things that we've done here in the garden. I love to hear those things. Sometimes people say, well, I want to sure I'd do it that way, and I'm going to listen to this. I read all the comments. I love hearing your comments. Sometimes if I don't turn to your path or another path, it might be because I'm already going down that path and I just want to see how bad it gets. And that's kind of what's behind me right now. But there will be another video with more details on what I'm talking about back here coming up soon. It'll be coming out in a few weeks. But anyway, so the weather. Let's get back to the weather here. We have had hot weather. The temperatures have been getting into the 90s some days, barely 90, 91, 92, which is really kind of interesting considering we live in Destin, Florida. But we have a unique microclimate here in that over here we have the Gulf of Mexico, and behind me we have the Choctawhatchee Bay, and it's a very large bay, and it affects the temperature here in Destin. We have a bubble that tends toward a median temperature. Actually, the median temperature it tends toward is the temperature of the water. Right now, water temperature is 87 degrees, and it's funny because our temperatures revolve within 5 degrees above and 5 degrees below. Yeah, our lows are 81, 82, occasionally 80. That's the low, first thing in the morning before the sun comes up. We don't get none of those 30, 40, 50, 60. We haven't seen, well, no, we have seen 70s a couple of times last week. We did have, or this week actually, we did have a bit of rain, a bit of weather come through, which was very nice, very welcome. Little subtropical kind of storms. They're just these little storms that come through, drop a half inch of rain and move on. They never last long. It could be sunny before and sunny after. Sometimes it's even sunny during. But that's kind of our weather pattern here. And we did see some upper, I think we got down to 78 as a low one day. We don't get below about that. Since April, I don't think we've seen anything below 75 since maybe mid-April, and here we are in August. So we don't get those lows, which actually affects the growing conditions. Things don't, even though it's within the upper temperature, it doesn't get low enough for things like tomatoes to really produce. Kind of annoying. We live with it. We figure out our ways around it. But anyway, so that's been our weather for a while now. We have these occasional rains. Interestingly enough, over here in Fort Walton Beach, which is maybe 10 miles in this direction, they will get some rain and it will just evaporate over the bay. Literally evaporate. It's gone. And so it's very fascinating to watch. In fact, let me see if I can insert here one of my time lapse that I like to show of the clouds bowling as they broil and make these storms in different directions. I think the one I'm going to find is going to be the one coming from Niceville, which is just over here across the bay, about 10 miles over there. Anyway, so that's the weather. The next thing is my projects. Okay, so we have, Mrs. Bowtie and I have a huge project coming up in a couple months, and you'll notice our production schedule is going to be a little kinky for about the next 90 days, so bear with us as we try to get things produced and get things out. We have this big project. Hopefully we'll have some video content from the project, and that will be exciting. But you can see my neighbor's out here working on his yard. This is just a neighborhood, folks. There's nothing special here. He's the one that takes care of his yard beautifully. It's like a golf course over there. But anyway, so okay, so and on top of this project coming up for Mrs. Bowtie and I, as a handyman, I have a huge project that I'm working on right now that is taking a lot of my time. So again, our production schedule is going to be a little hinky. I'll admit you're going to see some videos come out late compared to when I recorded them. Hopefully they will still be of interest. There are experiments. We have all kinds of stuff going on that I'm very excited about. You'll see stuff in these garden tours. I have a feeling that for about the next 90 days we're going to have some scheduling hinkiness. Let's just put it like that. So, and bear with us as we get through these next two huge projects. The project for Mrs. Bowtie and I, we have actually been planning on for a number of years, and we're hoping that we can get it done this time. So be sure to click like in this video and share it. And for those of you who have subscribed to Bowtie Life, thank you so much for subscribing. We do appreciate you have made Bowtie Life what it is today, and we are working on reaching some goals right now. So watch the videos, click share the videos with your friends. We're trying to get up to certain numbers, and at that point we will be doing more things in the garden, and I'm very excited about that. We do have plans, but things have to happen. Things have to go in order. When I do talk about other channels or videos in these videos, I do put links in the description below. You'll see there's a section in the description that has the index, and that is the indexing of the video. And I'll put, if we're in that section, I'll put a link to the video or channel right in the index where the timestamp is. So trying to make this so where you can use this however you want to. If you want to watch through the garden tour, great. If you want to go look at certain things, which is what I do most of the time in the store as I'm looking at, did I grow that? I'll go back and look at my own videos, figure out if I grew that. In fact, I've got an item right now that I'm trying to figure out what I grew, and I didn't document it in a video. I'm a little upset. Anyway, so for this garden tour, we put this map of the property, and actually, let me back up and show you the full map of the property. We live, as you can see, in a urban neighborhood. It's the middle of what we call Old Destin. It's not the oldest part of Destin, but it's Old Destin, and we have a 100-foot wide by 106-foot deep property to play on, and we are converting as much of this as we can to gardens. And so we're going to have this map of the property of the front yard now in the corner down here of the video, and we're going to have this icon that the circle represents the camera, the arrow is the direction the camera is pointing, so you know exactly where in the property we are. So all that being said, have I said too much already? Sure, I know I'm a gabber. I know I talk a lot. And if you ever want to see things different or even things more specific, we got a couple of things going for this section. But if you ever want to see anything different, comment below the kind of things you want to see. Ask those questions, because I like seeing the questions. May not always have the answer. I most of the time know where to send you to get the best answer. But anyway, so we're going to start where we always start, in the southeast corner of the property. In fact, in the lower left-hand corner of the screen down here is where the arrow will flip over to, or is, no, it should be pointed right here right now. I'm rambling. Straight ahead. Okay, here we go. The zombie wood chip pile. So yes, this is the corner that Mrs. Bowtie truly hates. I have let this thing get out of hand, but I'll admit this has fascinated me to no end. Underneath here is the wood chips from two trees. One tree is a tree that used to grow right over there. In fact, you can just barely see the stump right there in that corner. There used to be a tree there. It was mostly dead. And then behind my neighbor's house over here, there was a huge tree that had a lot of dead spots on it, and we had to cut that out. It had massive logs literally pointing at his roof, precariously perched on branches before they removed it. And so anyway, I got all those wood chips dumped here. That was over a year ago, and I wanted to show you. I actually recorded a short. I don't know if it's come out by the time this comes out. I don't think it has, but actually I'm trying to get this out of here. The city really would like to have their sidewalk back. Yes, I am a terrible person, bad citizen, but I did want to show you, and I have got to identify these, but we have massive amounts of mushrooms growing down here. It is so cool. And I just think it's neat. There is a lot of wood chip in here still decaying. It's no more is it nitrogen hog. In other words, it's gotten all the nitrogen it can hog up, but you can see there are wood chip type stuff in here. And look, see there's a big old hunk of wood. Anyway, so I just thought it was neat. These mushrooms have just been growing up down here. I'm sure they're not anything good to eat. I'm not going to eat them without a professional telling me what it is, but I do need to make a definite action toward resolving this pile, because it is getting out of hand. And so after the zombie wood chip pile, we go to what we have been calling the strawberry patch, and we grew strawberries in the black fabric. This is an absolute full Florida sun space, and I mean 8 hours or more of sun, and it fried the strawberries that are in there. We used to have this whole thing covered in strawberries, and I am looking to see if I can find any. And I will almost bet you I cannot quickly, but we do have a change in the works for this area. Oh my goodness, look at this. Oh. Wow, this is a lot of, can't think of what it is right now. But underneath here, we would have strawberry plants somewhere, maybe. I'm not seeing any. I think it's completely choked out all the strawberries. Yeah. I know there's none in this area. Oh, looky there. There's a strawberry plant right there. Just eking between a stick and a leaf flower plant, trying to survive. Oh my, there's another one in a solo cup right there that we could probably revive. I am going to start pulling these out of here as I can find them, and we are going to start planting them in random places around the yard. I did see one just the other day over in this section right in here. And I need to rescue anything that I can find eventually. I do not see it. I'm sure, I'm a little bit too far over here. This is an absolute disaster. And it actually did produce strawberries for us. Did pretty good, but we can do better. And I'm going to start planting my strawberries as an understory plant in other garden beds to where it gets decent sun, but not as much sun as it's been getting. It is too much for the plants. here inside the what we called the strawberry patch, and we will be coming up with a new name here. That is announced in the third part of this particular video. But we have this pomegranate tree, and it is amazing. We are actually going to pick a pomegranate. In fact, I know which one we're going to pick, but look how massive these things are. Isn't that just beautiful? Oh my goodness, it is just gorgeous. And so what I want to do is I want to come up here and get this one right here. It's got some beautiful color to it, and we're going to cut it open. Whoop! Still has a little bit of green on that one side. Let me get you out of the sun and get me out of the solo cups. Okay, there we go. So it has a little green on the one side over here. But let's go and cut this thing open. So I got one of Mrs. Bowtie's favorite paring knife, and she is operating the camera, so I'm presuming I have permission. Do I have permission?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, I'm actually already starting it the wrong way. So the pomegranate, you can see there's a bulge there, bulge right there. These are the areas where you want to slice through the skin, like so. And you go work your way all the way around, and then you're going to, at the top, see there's another minor bulge right there. And at the top, we're going to cut around the stem, just like a cap. And I did a lot of research on how to cut these things open, and this is my favorite way to do it. But you'll notice, boom, we have a cap that comes off. And now that we've sliced these, look at there. Now these are not red either. I was hoping we'd have some red ones, but these are the Amaryllis, A-R-I-L-S. And they have a seed inside there, but the juice around the seed is what you eat. Ooh! Ooh! I'm going to feed one to Mrs. Bowtie with my really dirty hand. That's a good flavor.
Those are good.
A lot less tart than the last one I tried.
Well, these may be the white ones. Remember, they're different colored.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
We have two varieties.
Well, I had one last month that was, yeah, white. And anyway, so the seeds are almost edible. What I do is we'll run these through the food mill, get the juice out of all these, and make jelly or various things like that. That is a pomegranate. I'm going to have to pick up all these now. But anyway, each one of these sections will peel back and it'll reveal all the Amaryllis inside the pomegranate. Let's see if I can put that nice and neatly back in place. It's not going to go back in place. And I'll put that in the fridge. That's how to open a pomegranate. So yes, that's our pomegranate. You can see there's a big, huge one back in there. There's a bunch of big ones on this tree. This tree is out in the full sun. It always ripens first. It's always the first of all the pomegranates we have. 9, 8. I think we had down to 8 of them. I got to plant some new ones. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All these are about ready to be harvested. So excited. Okay, coming back out of the strawberry patch, we do have down here, I don't think we have anything down here. No, that is just grasses. Okay, we do have, of course, our rosemary plant. Go back a couple of months to see how we trim this, and we start bushing out. I need to trim it again, so it'll start bushing out even more. We want a nice bushy rosemary plant right here, and of course this is full sun. Remember where these things are from. They're from the Mediterranean. A lot of sun, a lot of heat, a lot of humidity. It should love being here in Florida, and it does. It really does. So, coming back along here to our brown turkey fig, which is still not in the ground. I have talked to this neighbor over here, and I will be replacing this gate with a larger gate so we can park our trailer behind here out of sight, and be converting this into pavers so that we can do that. So, very excited about that, but that tree will be planted in the space. You'll notice it's a long leader going up. I want that thing to be a leader going up to a certain height so that the gate can open underneath it. It'll be kind of a funky looking tree. I say funky tree, it's going to be a lollipop tree. a little taller than most, but anyway, the mums. Now, we did a little video on how to add soil. Remember, the soil in these things was down about 10 inches. We added soil to the bottom, we raised them up, and this is one of the ones that we cut. And I want to show you, look at all the brand new growth coming in here. This is all brand new growth, and I see here I need to cut off a couple more of these long ones here. Oh, that is already cut off. Just to keep more growth coming. It's really doing strong. This is all, in fact, let me zoom in here so you can see. This is just all brand new growth. Where is there it is. Look at the little flowers. Isn't those awesome? So both the moms are doing great. They're going to start coming out. Hopefully we'll have another flush of flowers before the year is over. We had a little bit of a paint spill over here. Oops, that bugs me. I do want to come up here and show you, the hedges are trimmed. Yes, the hedges have finally got trimmed. They were like over 8 foot tall right here. They are finally trimmed. I'm very happy about that. You know, that paint spill, I am a handyman. Unfortunately, things happen. I really hate when we have spills like that, but they do happen occasionally. We're coming up here to the front where the fig tree is. I'm going to get you on this super wide because this is a beautiful looking tree. There's actually figs up in here. Look at that. Look at that. There's one little fig. I'm going to zoom you in on that one little fig right there. This will probably not survive. We are late in the season. I did a video harvesting, what did we get? 30 some odd pounds of figs from my friend's tree. That tree is actually where the cutting for this tree came from. This tree is an exact replica of my friend's tree. So I'm hoping this thing, now this has a little bit more shade than his tree. In fact, his tree is full sun. This tree has the American Sycamore above it. So it does get a lot of sun, but it does get a bit more shade, so we'll have to see how this does. That does concern me because it can affect the productivity. So, yeah, the fig tree is looking beautiful. It will start getting rust on it here in the next month or so, and the leaves will start falling a month or two after that. And, ooh, something's been eating the leaves down here. Look at there. I wonder what does that. Is that a bird? I do not know. Anyway, this thing is very healthy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful tree. Just lovely. Right below the front of the fig, we have the old artichoke patch. And of course, this is going to be renamed also because artichokes were an absolute failure here, and I don't know why. So, we're going to have to figure it out and do something different with artichokes. I'm thinking about possibly planting sunflowers in here next year. I do not know for sure. I do need to tarp it and kill everything off in here and give it a start. The one thing, that right there is a yarrow, and I will keep that, of course. That will stay. But we'll tarp everything else and kill all the weeds and try again. Put down cardboard maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, that is our next little bed here, but right next to those, I was concerned about these Jerusalem artichokes. I don't like that name. Go back and look at the playlist for a reason for that. It's right in the beginning of the first of the playlist. I do like sunroot better. I'll accept sunchokes. And this is a beautiful plant. Number one, these things will grow up about 12 foot tall. They will make black-eyed Susan shaped flowers, beautiful flowers that the monarchs and bees absolutely love. And it will come a while. Now these things are late in development. In fact, I went back and did a little research on my own videos and found these things and realized, oh my goodness, these things are over a month behind, maybe 2 months behind. It was very discouraging, but I don't know why. We haven't had a lot of hot weather. This one is behind probably because of the way I mistreated this bed when I redid it. But you'll notice I pulled out those weeds a couple months ago and it's starting to come up. So I'm very happy about that. I think it was just getting choked out. American Sycamore, it's August, so of course it is fully leafed out. The crepe myrtles are berried out. The birds like these berries. These are what's called a persistent berry, which means they don't fall all over the ground. The birds will come and pick them off the tree for the next, I don't know, 8 months or more. We do still have a few little places, in fact, right up here, if I can get you zoomed in, right there. You can see we still have a couple of little pockets of pink flowers. This will be month 3 that these things have been displaying for us. They're beautiful. I just love how these things just keep that pink for a long, long time. But the whole trees, they do look fantastic and just green with tons of berries. Even this one has some flowers up in there with berries. It is just full of life. I see bees on the flowers. We frequently see birds and squirrels and everything else on the berries. One thing I noticed recently, decorative pear tree over here, you'll notice is growing less and less, which means it is dying. It is doomed. I will be cutting that off below the ground, but it has fewer and fewer things growing out of it. There's a little zinnia growing beyond it, but it has fewer and fewer branches growing out of it. In fact, if I walk over here closely, I'll bet we can probably find 1 or 2, but I haven't had to pick off anything. Oh, looky there. Wow. I don't see anything on this to pick. Oh, there's a little lizard. That's cool. Love our little lizard. This is a baby. Oh my goodness. This is a tiny guy. Oops. Not sure what happened there. Where'd he go? There he is. He's a little tiny lizard trying to hold still so I don't see him. Oh, the whole world sees you, buddy. You're beautiful. All right, so yeah, this may be on its way out. I'm very excited. It's not going to start moving. I hope the roots will start rotting. Yeah, a little zinnia here on the front yard. This is the tree update section, of course. We got our cedar tree or some kind of pine, evergreen. We have our date palm, and I wanted to show you. So back up over here. And if I zoom in, I'm trying to get really good at zooming in here. You can see right up there is a cluster of dates just about to grow right there. And if I come around here, there's another cluster. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Right up in there. Look at that cluster of dates. Oh my goodness. They're starting to yellow out. They got bugs all over them. So one of these years I'm going to get a bag to go around them after they've flowered so that we can bag them up and get a good harvest. But one of those things will make about 50 pounds, and one of those branches will make about 50 pounds, and we get about 15 of those in a year. So we're going to go back over here to the pollinator bed, which is where we like to attract pollinators, give them a little bonus for stopping by. We have a lot of zinnias growing up in here. In fact, I'm going to be planting a lot of more zinnia seeds, but folks, listen, it's easy. Number 1, zinnia seeds are free. You see how this flower right here is dying? You break that off like that. You break it open and look down inside there, and you can see all those little seeds coming out. Those white things, those are seeds, okay? And you just take one of those and spread it out in here. Just spread it out. Nothing fancy. Just spread it out, and those will grow. Those will dry out more, and there's a lot of dead ones. This one right here is primed, ready to go. Look at this one. Oh my goodness, that one is just ready to be spread out. It's all dried and everything. I'm going to step up in here and see if I can get you on wide angle, and see, it just broke apart. All those seeds just ready to grow new zinnias. We got a lot of stuff in here. We got these popcorn trees growing and all kinds of stuff. But you can see they're very easy to pull out. Extremely easy to pull out. So we come down here and we have the yarrow plants, and the yarrow plants are suffering. That's this thing right in here. They are suffering. It has been warm, and they are not very happy about it, of course. There's another one right here. They'll come back. They're perennial. So down hidden in here, and I'm going to have to dig in here by hand, but we have the rain lilies. Oh, and there's more creeping cucumber in here. Look at that. See, there's it looks like a little melon in there. This stuff is growing everywhere on the property. Come on, focus. There we go. Lots and lots of this growing throughout the property, and I'm going to have to get a little aggressive on this. But yeah, it's a creeping cucumber. It's not the cucamelon. It's the not good one. So anyway, yeah, this yarrow, it's going to come back. These are supposed to be some milkweed. I'm not sure. A friend of mine gave it to me. I'm waiting for those to grow a little more, but they are going to be going out in 3 different places in the garden. Okay, so I was saying I had those rain lilies in here. There's bulbs down in here, and I don't know that I can even find one right now as thick as all this grass is, but there are a bunch in here. Yeah, they're past their prime. It's kind of like looking for the strawberries. Oh, there's one right there. Looky there, looky there. See, that is a bulb for one of the rain lilies. There's a couple of them there. There's probably a little cluster right there. So yeah, they're still there. Okay, good to see. Good to see. Good to know. They will be coming back next year. We have there the sanguine Brugmansia, which is a red angel trumpet. And then this is the yellow angel trumpet, and I can't remember what that's called. If I remember, I will put it on the bottom of the screen here. But they are starting to grow strong. They are a little bit behind, kind of like the Sunchokes are. But they'll come along. It'll still make a flower. The Egyptian walking onion here is kind of getting buried in with a bunch of other stuff. I'll have to get in here and clean it up. We had 11 plants here that we put in with 1 or 2, maybe 3 strands. Now there's like 15 of them because they keep growing and developing and walking across the bed. They're beautiful. So yeah, these onions, they're green onions. You can just go down here and clip them and you cook with them. They're tasty. I mean, just take that right there. Yeah, delish. I love them. Every once in a while, Mrs. Bowtie asks me to go out and pick a handful, and I end up getting a handful about that big, and she only meant that much. This is something new. What is this? I don't know what that is. I need to stop and identify this. Well, my PlantNet app says it's sorghum bicolor, but the confidence is low, like 19%. That's not normally good enough for me. I've been seeing this come up in various places. I want to see how this develops on this seed head right here, though. So I'm going to let one of these go. There's another one just right there that I'm going to let go. The sorghum bicolor comes up with kind of a purplish flower. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Interesting. I'm not liking how close it is coming to the onions, but it'll be fine. This is another new thing I've been seeing come up that I'm trying to keep in control. I do like all the flowers, even though they are what most people would call weeds. I have been loving these because the bees like them. So that's the front pollinator bed. Come around here to the back pollinator bed. Oh, do you see anything different? Here, let me see if I can find a segment of this area before the work was done. And yeah, so this was a mess, an absolute mess. I got it cleaned up today in about an hour. Now let me tell you about this. And I'm going to have another video coming out. Now you know what? I got another video coming out. Got so much coming out, I can't even keep track of it. But yes, we got all these weeds peeled up off the ground here. I was very excited. I even started pulling back weeds back in here. You can actually see Amaryllis leaves once again, which is very exciting. Things are starting to pop out now. This is one of the areas I'm going to be planting a lot of giant zinnias. I actually already have planted a lot, and I'm hoping some of them will start coming up. So this is the back pollinator bed with the bird bath. and the bird feeder right here. But anyway, oh, so the Thai plants. There's zinnias over here. Oh, yeah, I remember. There is one thing I wanted to show over here. And this is another new plant to my garden. And I think this may be, is this Mexican zinnia? I'm sorry, Mexican Lantana, or is it that zinnia thing? I'm not sure which, but it's beautiful. I mean, that little flower is gorgeous. I am just enamored with this thing, and I've seen it. I've seen 2 of these on the property now, so I'm loving these, loving the flowers. It's a umbel flower, so certain types of insects like umbel flowers. That means it has a flat top like this that they'll land on, and they're attracted to. Parasitic wasps, I presume, will be attracted to it, which is a good thing. The Thai plants. In fact, let me get onto wide here. Of course, we got one Thai plant, another Thai plant, 3, 4, and then the one that I mowed is actually starting to come up. You can see right here. It is looking good. It's going to be growing strong. And yep, I accidentally mowed that thing. But it's going to be back. And I just need to keep things around it. I keep sniffing these plants that look like this because I think they might be mint. It's not. But yeah, this thing will grow up and it will be as big as the others. One day. It does have a good root system. It is the newer of the 5, so it's not quite as strong, but it will grow back. Very excited about that. That's my Thai plant. So we have our one lone German pink tomato, which I need to get tied up very soon. In fact, I'm going to do it right after we're done with this garden tour. But it's getting stronger. There's another one of those possible sorghum plants right there. I'm seeing those all over the place. I want to see what they are. But so I mentioned the Thai plants in the pollinator bed. That's T-I, Thai. Some people say T, I don't know what it is. I call it a Thai plant. But if you look here, these are Thai Yardlong beans. Thai as in T-H-A-I. And these Yardlong beans are starting to grow. And I can't believe how strong they're looking. This is from my friend over at Gardens Happen. Recommended these last year, and I thought, oh, I've got to try those. I'm not as impressed with the meat. Oh, that actually looks pretty good. That might be a good harvest bean right there. It's not as big around as green beans that are like our Blue Lake stringless pole beans are, but they taste good. They still taste good. So they're starting to grow and grow strong in here. And we'll be getting more of these. I need to come in here and harvest these. I just want to show you what we've got right now. And, you know, you look at that yard-long bean. Well, it's about 2 feet long, but that's a lot of bean. That's a whole lot of bean in there. So you cut those up into, 3-inch pieces, and you got a meal and 2 beans. Or at least a side dish. So, yeah, the neighbor's cutting his grass, of course. We just live in a neighborhood, folks. You don't have to have acreage. Buried down in here that's the beans, of course, we were just looking at. Buried down in here is a mint plant, a chocolate mint plant. And I have been trying to pull out these Biden's Alba. We got a lot of them this year, and so I've been trying to keep them a little bit pulled this month. That's kind of what I'm focusing on. But this mint plant, you'll notice it's getting flowers. Oh, this thing smells amazing. I wish you could smell this. Oh, wow. But anyway, makes these beautiful little flowers, and very prolific. There is a grow bag under here that they're growing in, and I will cut them back and keep them in this grow bag. And do not let them go wild in your garden, because they will take over. They are prolific. A lot of grass is growing in here. This is the bed is probably right about there, and this is grass in the yard. I do need to get in here and cut back some of this, probably with the weed eater. We do have here the area where I'm going to make 2 more tiered beds. We have 2 up here where the beans are, and the German pink is up over there. But we're going to have 2 more beds here with another arch trellis eventually. And you can see I actually just folded this back. It's actually killing off the grass under there beautifully. So this will be ready for a bed there and a bed there. That hump is actually the bricks that are going to make the walls of the bed. So if we come back here to our asparagus plant. This is a female asparagus plant, I'm pretty sure, and it doesn't make as many shoots, and so I used to have plans to plant more of these, hopefully to get some male plants out. And of course, I spent a little time cutting the grass in this side of the front yard. I've been really lazy. I'm not as enterprising as my neighbor over there. But behind the this asparagus, of course, we have some amaryllis that are looking strong. They're going to look good in the spring. I'll admit, I'm not great at yard work. I did clear up all this. Now the interesting thing here is, remember over there where the fabric is around the tree? I just peeled back the fabric. I don't know if that video is out yet or not. It probably isn't. I'll be showing that in a video. But all this from about here all the way back to the blueberries is the same fabric. And I'll be able to peel that all back as well. I'm hoping. Anyway, so the grapes are, of course, delicious. And I still have not put any organza bags on them, but they do look pretty good. They are getting tender and tasty. Lots of bunches of grapes in here. There's probably, I don't know, probably can pick 10 pounds worth of grapes in here. And I probably should do that here pretty soon before the birds get a hold of them. So tons and tons of these grapes. These are scuppernong grapes, which are, I think, a type of muscadine. And there are a lot of them in here. So I'd like to, I hope we can get 10 pounds out of it. Not sure what we're going to do with them yet, but they are all tender. They are looking good. So we're coming down to the end here. Coming close to, well, there's the blueberries back here outside the back of the arbor. This is the pile of stuff that I got from around the big sycamore tree out front. And I'm going to leave it under this tarp until it's all the organic material, the grasses and stuff are dead. So it'll be here a month or two. This is one of the places where I put piles of stuff. I did want to show you the magnitude of what's growing over here. This is, again, that area where there's weed fabric underneath here. There is huge piles of grow bags, full grow bags here that we need to pull out and put a tarp over or put somewhere where the plants will die. We do, in fact, just show you these Biden's alba. This is why I like the Biden's alba. It is a neat little flower. This one's a little bit weathered, but the bees like it and the butterflies like it. We have a monarch or two that live around here. So anyway, this is going to be my next big project, is clearing all this out. So next garden tour, hopefully, this will be dealt with. The blueberries, of course, are looking like blueberries. The berries are long gone. It is time to go in here and start finding dead branches. In fact, I can see some dead branches right there. And I just need to go climb in there and start cutting down some of the older branches that may not be as productive and kind of clean it out. So look for younger branches. We'll have to do a video on that when the time comes. So I do have some more grow bags over here against the house that need to go. Need to put it in a place where they won't get water so that they will begin to die back and we can use it for something else. But anyway, I'm going to put you on the tripod here so we can get our closing segment down for this video. So that is the front and side garden tour. I do want to show you this I don't know if it's Mexican Lantana or some kind of zinnia thing. This is a pretty flower. It's another one of that same yellow flower that I found up in the pollinator bed. I'm not sure what it is. I'd like to see more of it. It's beautiful. But thank you for following along. Those of you who have subscribed, I thank you so much. You've helped make Bowtie Life what it is today. And we are growing. And it's very exciting to see what we'll do in the future. Be sure and comment your experiences and questions in the comments, and click like on this video, and appreciate you watching through. It's been a long day. Y'all have a blessed day.